Something moved when her daughter picked up the strange thing she had bought and turned it over to look at it. She said in a whisper, "There's something inside." When she held the heart-shaped thing up to the light, she could see two round shapes under the glass. But when she saw what was inside the hole, she knew that what she was holding wasn't a Christmas ornament at all, but something else. Priscilla Bailey, who lived in Plymouth, loved getting a good deal more than anything. She couldn't help herself whenever she passed a Goodwill or charity shop. She looked through the dusty shelves and boxes for anything strange or interesting. But she had no idea that the silly bargain she bought today would lead to the police getting involved. The color blue was Priscilla's favorite, and she liked to collect glass ornaments. So when she saw a beautiful blue Christmas decoration in the shape of a heart, she knew she had to have it. It looked so strange that it made her stop in her tracks, but she wouldn't be able to breathe when she found out what was inside it. The beautiful glass ornament was on a table at her local Savers with the other Christmas tree decorations. When she saw that the price was only $2, she didn't think twice. She thought the ornament would be a nice addition to her Christmas tree or even a nice gift, so she bought it and took it home with a smile. She wouldn't know what she had done until a very long time later. Of course, Priscilla went home with her item. She couldn't wait to look at it more closely. She took it out of its packaging and looked at the engravings around its mountings. She was amazed by the tiny figures etched into the metal around the glass. They looked like angels or Vikings. She turned it around and around, admiring the way the light from her kitchen window made the glass sparkle. But all of a sudden, she had a strange feeling. The blue heart was big and heavy, but it seemed hollow on the inside. Priscilla looked more and more closely until her warm breath made the glass foggy, but she couldn't see what was inside her trinket, if there was anything. She hung it up on a hook in her kitchen and then forgot about it, that is, until her daughter stopped by to see her. Kat, who was Priscilla's daughter, liked glass art. When she started her own glass-blowing business, she was finally able to do what she loved, design and blowing glass. Priscilla jumped up with excitement to get her new ornament and exclaimed, "Look what I found! I got it at Savers!" So, Kat was the right person to help figure out what was going on with the glass heart. Kat was impressed by how well made the glass heart was, so she picked up the strangely heavy object and held it in her hand. Nothing like it had ever happened to her before, but she was just as confused as her mother by how heavy it was. It was empty, but it was too big to be empty. Something had to be inside. She had to know what it was right away. She ran back after getting a flashlight from the kitchen drawer. Priscilla was thrilled by her daughter's idea, so she held the ornament up while Kat shined the flashlight through it from behind. She gave it a little shake, and they both saw what was inside move. It took a while for the women to figure out that the glass had two different parts. The secrets were kept in two compartments about the size of a golf ball. Their eyes got big, and Priscilla felt like she couldn't breathe. Priscilla knew she needed to call someone, anyone. They had to tell people what they had found. She called police, and then someone called the Boston Globe. Soon after, the reporters showed up, and Priscilla led them to her kitchen table so she could explain everything. She hoped that the news would tell a lot of people about the discovery and that someone would come forward with more details. Right now, it's hanging there where I can see it when I do the dishes. Sometimes I just stare at it, Priscilla says to the reporters. It's not big. It has two small spots about the size of a golf ball, she said. Everyone held their breath when she brought it over for the reporter to look at it. It was becoming clear that this ornament wasn't like the other ones on the Christmas tree. When she told them there was powder inside, they couldn't believe it. Kat takes over and talks about how she found out what the heart-shaped ornament was hiding while Priscilla goes to get the flashlight again. She shines it through the glass and it is as clear as day. Inside, there is powder moving. I told her, "It looks like ashes, Mom," Kat says. But who was their owner? Was this pretty decoration really an urn? Whose ashes were they hiding? Priscilla was surprised by the idea. She was shaking and carrying someone's body parts around, and what was worse, she had them in her house. The real purpose of the thing she bought was more than a little strange, but then she thought of something else that broke her heart. How did the ashes of someone end up in savers? The thought of someone's loved one being sold in a thrift store without any ceremony was enough to make Priscilla cry. The family must be very sad, right? But Kat knew just what to do to fix the sad situation. She knew it was a long shot, but she had to try. It's lovely, Kat tells the reporters. It must have a story, so my goal is to find out where and who this belongs to. She hoped that if she told the police and the media about the lost urn, someone would see it and come forward. But during this time, what will happen to the beautiful urn? Priscilla promises to keep the urn safe until the person who should have it finds it. She thinks that fate made that day in Savers happen and that she was meant to find it. She is sure that the owner will be found because the story is being told all over the country on the news and online. Even Facebook told her story, but then things took a strange turn. Kat wrote on Facebook, "It breaks my heart that this was thrown away and is now just sitting on a shelf at Savers for $2. She says that she hopes the person who comes forward is the real owner and that she can find out more about the urn, like who it belongs to, whose ashes are inside, and how it ended up in a thrift store in the first place." Then someone wrote back to her. The manager of Savers says that most of their donations come from people in the area, so it's very likely that the urn's owner lives near Plymouth. Then Kat's post went viral, and people from all over the world told stories that were similar to hers. A woman named Connie Whiteman-Slatt wrote, "Please let me know what you find out, because I also have one and I found mine at a thrift shop. It weighs a lot." Then someone else replied to Connie Whiteman-Slatt's comment by saying that she too has a similar item. She said that her aunt had found it in a thrift store in the Pacific Northwest. "Mine was also iridescent and heart-shaped, but it was less of an ornament and more like a sun catcher," she said. "It was made from Mount St. Helens ash. This could also explain why what looks like ashes are inside. Could be a chance," wrote a woman with the handle Cat Willow VII. The glass heart might not be an urn after all. The person who gave it to Savers should come forward and get it back. The story that went viral is still going strong, so hopefully the secrets of the blue heart will still be revealed.